Find out just how much Google knows about you. Maria Bartiromo reports from Inside the Mind of Google, December 3rd on CNBC. First in business worldwide.
Coming up on the Suze Orman Show, are you as aggravated as I am about all these fees these banks are charging you on your credit cards? If you are, I want you to join my cash back movement. Listen up as to what I want you to do about it. Also, in the past, Miss Orman used to say, don't use department store credit cards. Are you kidding me? Not anymore. And you asked me, can I afford it?
I want to move out of my mom's house into a $900 luxury apartment. Can I afford it?
I get that one. You want to be on your own. You want to bring people home and have a good time and not have to worry about it, right?
Exactly.
I knew it. Hi, everybody. I am Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Now, I try to stay calm. Really, I try to just tell you what you need to know in a low-key way when I can. But there are some times where I really get so irritated that I don't know what to do about it. And tonight happens to be one of those nights. Oh yes, oh yes. The banks, oh, they are still getting to me. The banks and these credit card fees, they have gone fee frenzy on you and on me, and it is driving me nuts. What are they talking about? And not only that, I have a letter here. I have a letter here that has seriously gotten to me, and I want to talk to you about that right here and right now, so listen up. Okay, let's first talk about the fees. How is it possible that I have spent my entire financial life saying to all of you, don't put money on credit cards if you don't have to. Pay them off in full. Be good to yourselves. And now certain banks are saying if you don't use the credit cards, if you don't charge at least $2,600 a year or whatever it may be, depending on the bank, that they're actually going to start to charge you annual fees because you're not putting money on credit cards. And then there are other companies such as Bank of America. Bank of America has been experimenting with you. How much are you willing to pay in annual fees? Are you willing to pay $24, $25, $50, all the way up to $99 a year? They want to know your financial fee tolerance, so to speak, so they can figure out how much can they get from you before you will leave them. What is this about, everybody? In the good old days, long time ago, when all the credit cards used to charge fees, little by little, smart banks got away with those annual fees. And I used to write in my books, don't go to a credit card that charges you an annual fee, find one that doesn't. Now, it's almost as if it's impossible because they are trying to get money out of you any way they can. Letter brought to me tonight by who? By my director, Dan. This came to his wife from Citibank. His wife, who has never been late on a payment, has never gone over her credit limit, has an excellent FICO score. All of a sudden, out of the clear blue, Citibank is telling her that the interest rate on her card is going up to 29.9%, almost 30%. However, if she's good and she pays her bills on time every single month for 3 months, they'll lower her interest rate by 10% down to 20%. What are we talking about out there? Why, Citibank, are you choosing to punish a good customer for absolutely no reason whatsoever? You know, not long ago, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke went on television and he said, you know what? I don't think we need to move up the date as to when all the regulations go into effect that regulate how these banks treat their credit card holders. But yet, Why did he say that? He said that because he doesn't feel that banks have enough time to get all of the technology and everything in place to monitor you according to the new regulations. However, this letter here, do you know how the 10% works? According to Citibank, if you pay on time every month for 3 months, they will then go back and credit you that 10%. And if you don't, they won't. What kind of technology does that take? How long did that take you to set up Citibank? Don't tell me that the banks do not have the time to put the technology in place, Mr. Bernanke. They have the time to put the technology in place to literally charge the clients more, to make it so that they can go back and credit 10%, but they don't have the time to put it in place to protect the consumer. What are you talking about? So what is my suggestion for all of you? Let's go back to the good old days. Let's go back to the times when you literally paid cash for everything. That's right, cash. Stop using your credit cards altogether. If you stop using your credit cards altogether, there won't be these interchange fees that Visa and everybody makes every time you use it. Maybe the cost of goods in the stores would come down because the stores, the retailers, are the ones that pay those fees, that 2%, 3% or so, to Visa. So maybe they can lower the cost of goods. You don't have to care about the interest rate and the fees and the late payments that the credit card companies are charging you. So why don't you just do what I do? I go out and I normally, unless it's a big ticket item, I pay cash for everything that I buy. I go to a restaurant, I pay cash. I go out and I buy something, I pay cash. Why don't you join that movement with me? Why don't we make that our statement to all these banks, everybody, and say, we don't need you anymore. We can pay cash. Take out enough money every single week or a month or whatever it is from your debit card, using your debit card or your ATM cards. Keep it in a safe, do something, and just spend cash. If you did that, you probably wouldn't spend as much, because if you don't have it, you can't spend it. You would save yourself from these ridiculous things, and we would take our power back. That's what I think we all should do. If you want to join me in this movement, go to suzeorman.cnbc.com and you will click right there if you want to join the cashback movement. Let's do it, and let's do it now, people. So as you can tell, I am riled up about these credit card companies and have been for some time now. But guess what? So is our first guest tonight. Her name is Kristen. She is coming to us from Kansas City, Missouri. Kristen, what do you want to know about your credit cards?
Well, hi there, Susie. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I am very frustrated. I read an article recently where credit cards may be imposing fees for accounts that do not carry over balances. And Susie, I have 12 credit cards. 11 of them have zero balances. I do not use them. The one I do use, I pay in full every month. So I'm very concerned because I do not want to be paying fees for cards I know I'm never going to use. My first reaction is to just shut them down. However, having watched your show, I do know how that will negatively impact my FICO score. So, Susie, what do I do?
Well, here's the good news for you and for everybody watching as well. You said to me you do not carry balances on these cards, correct?
Correct.
Therefore, if you did shut them down, it's really not going to hurt you that much. The reason that I always say don't shut down your credit cards is about 30% of your FICO score is made up of your debt, what you owe, to your credit limit ratio, the credit limit that all these credit cards have extended to you. But if you don't owe any money on these credit cards, you have a zero debt balance. So zero of one credit card with a $5,000 limit or zero of 12 credit cards with a $40,000 credit limit is essentially the same. 10% of your FICO score is made up of your credit history, but who cares about it? Eventually it will adjust. Another thing, however, I looked at the 12 credit cards that you have. Many people may be in the exact same situation as you. 10 of the credit cards that you have are from department stores.
Yes.
They aren't going to charge you fees. Department stores actually are more intelligent than banks. They want you to use their credit card. They want you to come in and charge in the hopes that you will not pay them off every month. Because if you don't pay them off that month, department stores have always charged 21%, 23% interest. Here's the travesty. Now, credit card companies that use Visa, MasterCard, they're not charging 21 or 22%. Oh, no. They're charging 30%, 31%, 32%, and they're charging you fees. Now, in the past, Ms. Orman used to say, don't use department store credit cards. Are you kidding me? They have a higher interest rate. It makes no sense. Use your card that's a Visa. Use a 4.99% interest rate. Not anymore. It may just be in some of these circumstances that your department store credit cards may be at a lower interest rate than these banks with these Visa and these MasterCards that have taken you up so high. So do not close down your store credit cards, number one. Number two, your two credit cards, your Visa card, I think it's a Visa, correct? And then you have one other. You have a large credit limit on those two.
Yes.
If I were you, until they do charge you a fee, until something changes, I would stay right there. Okay. However, as I've been saying lately, you might want to think about looking into a good credit union where you can do, if you need to, a balance transfer. In fact, you might just want to do it anyway to, as a sympathy move for all the other people out there that, in my opinion, are being screwed by these banks. You might just want to do it as a sympathy move and go to a credit union, a good one that isn't connected with a bank, because some credit unions, their cards can be connected with banks, believe it or not. But anyway, you might want to look at that and see if the time comes, or before that, should you do a balance transfer with a credit union that one day is not going to charge you a fee. They're not going to raise your interest rates. They're not going to do the things that I've been talking about, how I started tonight's show. Got that? Rebecca in Nebraska, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my question.
Anytime.
Well, this is my question. My husband and I thought we did the right thing, and it's really backfired. We put $18,000 of back taxes on a credit card that was at 1.9%. It was obviously better than what the IRS was charging us at the time.
Yes.
Now the bank has notified me that their rate is going to 17.9%.
Yeah.
I've called them, and they won't lower the interest rate, and now we're stuck.
Do you still have a good FICO score?
I haven't checked.
You haven't checked. Chances are you don't have a good FICO score because you owed back taxes to the IRS. So you may be stuck right there. Here's the good news, that they didn't raise you to 30%.
Yeah.
That is the good news. The other good news is this. It's only a few percentage points higher than what the IRS would be charging you, number one. Number two, remember, it doesn't matter what happens to you financially speaking, you cannot discharge money that you owe to the IRS. They have the legal authority to garnish your wages, to do anything they want. The last entity that you want to ever owe money to is who? The IRS, right? Right. So did you do the right thing? I personally think you absolutely did. Now, if you get into serious trouble, all right, it's still unsecured credit card debt. Now, they have the ability, obviously, to sue you. And maybe after this call, I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the rights of credit card companies if you don't pay. But it's still unsecured debt, and hands down, I would rather owe money to a credit card company at a higher interest rate than to the IRS at a lower one. All right, so since I'm on this topic, I want to go to a segment called Money Logic, where I try to make logic out of things that are kind of not. But anyway, please listen to me. In the past, over all these years, I've always said to you, credit card debt is unsecured debt, unlike a mortgage obligation that is secured by your home. If you do not pay your mortgage, which is secured debt, they can come and take your home from you. Car loan debt, it's secured by your car. If you don't make payments on your car loan, guess what happens? You can come out one morning and it cannot be there. They can repossess it or take it back from you. Credit card debt is unsecured debt. They cannot come and take a car, a home, or anything from you. What they can do, and what they are starting to do, everybody, is they can sue you. If they sue you and they win, then they have the legal authority to put possibly a lien on your home again. They can't take the house from you, but if you sell the house at any time and there's equity in the home, they then will be paid before you can actually close on that sale of that house. They also have the right, in many cases, to garnish your wages. Now, when somebody is garnishing your wages, there is a formula. The most they can take is essentially 25% of your disposable income. So there is a formula as to how that is figured out, but they can't take your entire paycheck. Now, in the past, when I would say to you, if you cannot afford to make your payments legitimately, you really can't afford it. You call them, you tell them you don't have any money. If you stop paying your credit card because you really can't afford it, today now they may sue you. But if you don't have any money, if you can legally show that to the court system when you go to court, what are they going to do? Not a whole lot. Do you understand that? However, if you are trying to scam the system, you have the money, but you just don't want to pay them. You're holding back in the hopes that they'll lower the amount that you can settle with them or whatever it may be. You at this point are asking for trouble. The banks have gotten very serious about this. They want money in any way they can get it, so they're starting to come after you. So you need to think twice before you don't make a payment on a credit card. If you can afford it, make it. If you can't, what are you gonna do?
I think she's somewhat of a shopaholic. I guess she thinks that she can buy our love.
Are you telling me that she's going in and using your credit card to buy things for you guys? And later, in wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
My partner Beth and I would like to buy a trip to Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu for $10,000.
Yes,
Don't you think that's a lot of money?
Yeah.
Hey, want to know what's on my mind? Come on, everybody, come tweet with me. Go to twitter.com/Suze Orman Show. Come on, you can do it.
And the Suze Orman Show will be right back.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Megan, you are on the air.
Good evening, Susie. I was a victim of identity theft, and the thief was my mother. She has no credit of her own, so she's been using mine. She's able to take a credit card in my name, and the company had no problem doing this without verifying my identification.
Yeah.
I called the company, and they said the only option was to contact their fraud department.
Yep.
I filed a police report, but I'm conflicted because it's my mother, and I don't want her to lose her job, nor do I want her to go to jail. She's been making the minimum payments, but it's obviously hurting my credit. So the question is twofold. Shouldn't the credit card company take some responsibility, and how do I get this off my credit report?
Megan, how old are you?
26.
How long ago did she steal your identity?
She's been doing it for probably about 6 years.
And is she a single mommy?
Yes.
What does your mother do for a living?
She works as a teller.
As a teller at a bank?
Yes.
And don't you find that funny? I mean, we have to get a little humor out of that, don't you think? Yeah. That's a little funny if you think about it. Oh, of course, a bank teller who steals her daughter's identity. Here's the thing. I understand that she's hurting your credit. Let's talk about how much has she hurt your heart?
A lot.
A lot. So, and have you talked to her about this?
Yes.
And what did she tell you? Did she tell you why she did it?
I don't know. I know she feels really guilty about it, and I don't know.
All right. So,
angering subject.
So let me ask you this. It happened around the time, did it not, when your father left her, yes?
Yes.
And she was probably in a situation where she did not know what else to do. Has she continued to use that credit card? Did she charge it up at one point and now she's trying to pay it off? Is she continuing to steal your identity, or did she do it this one time? Tell me more.
She's continuing to do it for years.
So meaning she's continuing to charge on the credit to open up other credit cards in your name?
This is the last one. I closed the card, so she hasn't been using it recently, but I'm constantly afraid that she's opening other ones.
So you're constantly having to check your credit report with your mother. And she is not the type that has gotten what this is doing to you. She cared. How old is she?
She's 64.
And so she's doing this out of total desperation, or do you feel like she's doing this because she really doesn't care about you?
I think she's somewhat of a shopaholic. I guess she thinks that she can buy our love.
All right.
And like that.
And are you telling me that she's going in and using your credit card to buy things for you guys, her children?
Mostly.
Mostly. All right. Here's what you need to do. You need to become the adult in this situation. You need to tell her that you called in to the Suze Orman show. You need to tell her that you are now at the point, and you and Susie have agreed, that either she stops this right here and right now. She's going to be given one more chance, because everybody deserves, especially a mommy who's 64 years of age, deserves one more chance. She is either going to stop it right now, she's going to clear up all of this debt, but if you find out that she charges one more charge on your credit card in your name, you're going to close them all down. If you find out that she opens up one more credit card in your name, you are going to the police with this. You are going to charge her. You are going to do everything in your power to get her to financially wake up. Because if she doesn't wake up at 64, she's going to be doing this at 74, 84, and you aren't going to be 20 some odd years of age. You're going to be 40 some odd years of age, and she is going to have destroyed your financial life, and you cannot allow her to do that. Do you hear me? Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want a beautiful, fun wedding. And so we're wondering if we can afford a $30,000 wedding. We make up $5,000 combined that we take home.
Yeah. Also, give it to me.
I would like to go on a fabulous 7-day spa vacation in the desert. I make $2,500 a month in take home.
Dear Susie, I was on the Can I Afford It segment.
Miriam, what do you want to buy?
I want to self-publish a children's book that I've written.
You've been approved.
Your advice helped me change my financial life. I bought your books and gave myself a money makeover. I took on extra work, cut out luxuries, and economized on necessities. My HELOC is paid. I started a Roth IRA and am now debt-free. I published my book, and the royalties are funding my next project. I'm a Susie success story. Sincerely, Miriam, Chandler, Arizona.
What do you want to buy?
A beautiful, fun wedding.
A trip to Machu Picchu.
7-day spa vacation in the desert.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Can I Afford It segment, your favorite segment, America's favorite segment, where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy, and I tell you if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Let's begin. Michael, what do you want to buy?
Hey, Susie, thank you for taking my call.
Anytime, Michael. Give it to me.
I would like to go on a fabulous 7-day spa vacation in the desert.
You want to spend $4,200 for 1 week for somebody to just kind of rub you down? Have you ever done it before?
No, I haven't. I've been on all kinds of vacations, and 2010 is going to be my year. I want a healthy, relaxing, rejuvenating week.
But you know, it's funny. You said you want a healthy, rejuvenating week. You didn't say 2010 was going to be your year where you want to be healthy and wealthy. What about wealthy? Anyway, besides the point, show me the money.
Okay, I make $2,500 a month in take home.
So you want to work for 2 full months for 1 week at a spa?
You got it.
Yeah. Did you think about it that way? 2 full
not
months.
really, but
2 full months for 1 week at a spa. Let's do the math on that one. Go on.
Okay, I have about $1,340 a month in expenses.
Yeah.
I have 0 debt.
Yeah.
No debt at all. I have $140,000 in liquid savings.
Yeah.
$20,000 in investments.
Yeah.
And I have $90,000 in my retirement account.
And you are 45 years of age. And you want to know if you can afford a weekend or a week at a spa, right?
You got it. I need it.
You need it, don't you? How bad do you need it? You need it bad. Now, I won't ask you why you need it, but okay. I'm sorry to say you have been approved. Because your expenses are so low. You can afford this. Boyfriend, continue to spend low, save high, and go and relax and have a good time. Julianne, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime.
I just got engaged recently to a wonderful man.
Don't tell me you want an engagement ring.
No, but I want a beautiful, fun wedding. And so we're wondering if we can afford a $30,000 wedding.
Well, let me tell you what you've got going for you already in your favor. You said we are wondering if we can afford. You know what I hate? I hate when married-to-be couples call in and somebody says, I'm wondering, or we're wondering if I can afford. You used we, so we all the way to the bank. Show me the money.
Okay, well, we make up $5,000 combined that we take home.
Yeah.
Our expenses run around $3,600 a month.
Yeah.
We don't have any debt, but we've been working hard to save over the last few years, and we have about $91,000 in liquid savings and $43,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
So we're going to dip into our savings for this.
And that will leave you only $60,000, though.
Yeah,
I know. All right, so let me make this easy for you. Let me get it over quick. You have been approved because that is still more, your $60,000, than 8 months of emergency fund. You've done a great job doing it. You're only 27 years of age. Go and get married in the fashion that you want, girlfriend. I love that. All right, Sandy, what do you want to buy? We've had 2 yeses so far.
Excellent. I like that track record. Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime.
So I'm really excited to tell you what I want.
What do you want?
Recently purchased my first home.
Yes.
And I would like to put in custom closets in my master bedroom.
I get that one. Closets can make the world of difference in a home.
Doesn't it?
You know what? I have to tell you, it does. So show me the money.
Excellent. Okay, so my take-home pay after taxes is $4,983.
Good so far.
Excellent. My expenses are $4,030.
Good. Less expenses than what you're taking in. Love it. Go on.
I have a mortgage of $377K at a 30-year fix.
Good.
My savings is liquid $25K.
Yeah.
And in my retirement, I have $49K.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Great question, Susie. So I either plan to use the tax credit that I'm planning to get back for the first-time home buyer or out of my savings.
So either one, right? That's what you're going to use? So at this point in time, I have to tell you, you have been denied. What? Can you believe it? Oh, here's the thing. Once you do something, it's done.
Yeah.
The money's already spent, and you don't have 8 months of emergency funds socked away at this point in time. It is mandatory that you do that, because all the closets in the world aren't going to save you. But once you've done it, it's done.
Excellent.
You're in trouble, but you can always do it. So after you have your 8-month emergency fund, then get your closet, but not before then. Denied, as I said. All right, Joanne, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. My partner Beth and I would like to buy a trip to Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu for $10,000.
Yes.
Don't you think that's a lot of money?
Yeah, I do. It is. The plus of it is that the $10,000 does include everything: flight, tips, hotel, food.
So you have planned this out. You have planned it out to the penny. Is that correct?
Yes, I have, Susie, because I'm very meticulous like that.
I love that. How long you've been with your partner?
We've been together now 6 years.
Love that. Show me the money.
Yes, ma'am. All right. We have a combined income of $4,500.
Yeah.
We have our mortgage at 20-year ARM, $192,000 left on it. We have $17,000 in savings, $157,000 in investments, and $18,000 in a Roth IRA retirement account.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Great question. We have planned to, we were saving for it because we're not going immediately. We're going in a few months, and we actually already have half of it saved for. So we really have $5,000 more to go.
So that money hasn't been included in the numbers that you gave me, or they have been?
Yes, they have been.
They have been. But you have $157,000 in investments that you could get at any time you wanted, can't you?
Yes, that is true.
That is true. So here's what I'm going to tell you. As much as I love that you've been together for so long and you love each other and you've been meticulous with money, I'm sorry to tell you that you have been approved. Because
excellent.
I do think I went over this. I kept going back and forth with you on this one. But I have to tell you, when I looked at everything, given that the investments are outside of a retirement account and what's going to be happening in Machu Picchu, they're going to be redoing it and you're not going to be able to see it in the next few years the way it is right now. Girlfriend, if I were you, I would go for it and you can afford it. All right, Marissa, what do you want to buy?
Okay, Susie, I'm a college graduate. I have a great job that I love, but there's one problem in my life. I want to move out of my mom's house into a $900 luxury apartment. Can I afford it?
I get that one. I get wanting to move out, especially when you're 23 years of age, right? That's how old you are?
Yes, I'm 23.
You want to move out of your mama's. You want to be on your own. You want to bring people home and have a good time and not have to worry about it, right?
Exactly.
I knew it. $900 a month doesn't seem like that much to ask for. Show me the money.
Okay, Susie, well, my take-home pay after taxes is $3,300 a month.
Great.
I'm living rent-free with my mom, but my monthly expenses have been averaging about $1,360 a month.
So $1,360 a month, even though you've been living rent-free. Go on.
Okay, I have $11,000 car loan at 11.5%.
Yeah.
Currently have $38K in deferred student loans, and that's for another 2 years, though.
Yeah.
And I have $1,700 in my savings account, but that continues to grow, Susie.
All right, so you want to know if you can afford $900 a month rent, right? That seems simple, especially since you're making $3,000-something a month, correct?
Correct.
You've been denied. And here is the reason you listen to me, and you listen to me closely.
Yes, ma'am.
For you to move into an apartment, you need first and last month rent in most cases. You don't have that when it's $900 a month. Moving into an apartment is just not moving into an apartment. You have to buy furniture, you have to buy plates, you have to buy all of these things. Now we have to increase your expenses because now you're going to be buying food, you're going to be paying for electricity, you're going to be paying the telephone bill, you're going to increase your expenses from what you're paying right now. When you do an apartment, you're going to go up another $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month. You're going to be taking everything that you bring home for this apartment. Are you kidding? You stay with your mother and you enjoy the fact that you got to do it. Hey, you want to go be with somebody? Oh, go to their house. You're not bringing them home to your mama's. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? Oh, yes, I can be strict, can't I? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find right there what you need to know to come and be with me. Oh, yeah, be with me right here. So if everything else is on track, is the main thing that's bothering you is that he is giving more money to this one child? And why do you think that he's doing that?
I have never gotten a good answer for that.
If if you think you need it.
Sunroom. Trips that want
New wardrobe.
Before you buy it,
pinball machine.
A Maltese puppy.
World Series of Poker.
you better ask, can I afford it?
You are denied.
In today's hard times, you need a financial reality check.
You have been approved. Yay!
The Suze Orman Show, CNBC Saturdays.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's head on off to South Carolina. Missy, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. Thank you for taking my call.
Anytime.
Okay, my husband has a little girl that he's a godfather to, and I think he's just way overdoing the gifts every year. He is giving her $250 for both her birthday and for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
We don't even spend that much on our own nieces and nephews, and also we write the checks to the parents, not to a college savings account, and I just think it's a little out of line.
Do you have credit card debt?
No.
Does your husband have credit card debt?
No.
Do you both have an 8-month emergency fund?
We're building it back up. We finished a house recently, and we're just building it back up, but we're just a few months out from that.
All right. And are you both contributing to your retirement accounts?
Yes.
To the max?
Yes.
And everything else is great, financially speaking?
Correct.
You have a good husband, you love him, he's honest with you, everything else is great?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so if everything else is on track, is the main thing that's bothering you is that he is giving more money to this one child than your own relatives?
Well, that and the fact that we never see this child or the people or the parents. They don't live anywhere near us.
And why do you think that he's doing that?
I have never gotten a good answer for that.
What do you think? What does he say when you ask him? What does he say?
Well, he and the father have been to Afghanistan together, and he just says that he feels as though he should be doing this.
Did this man save your husband's life?
No.
Did your husband see this man get injured?
No, but he did get injured on a different tour.
All right. So something happened emotionally with your husband and this man, right?
I can only assume so.
All right. Here's the thing that I just want to say to you. I've spent a lot of time on military bases. I've spent time at Walter Reed Hospital. There is some bonding that goes on with the men and the women of the armed forces that people who have never been in the military are never going to understand, Missy. We're never going to understand it, and I don't think we need to understand it. But what we do need to do is honor it. And if your husband wants to honor another soldier that he served with, and you are doing fine financially speaking, you want to hear what? I would let him do it if I were you. You know, since I just mentioned the fact that I went to Walter Reed, I'm going to show you right now, this wasn't planned, so we're just going to get this up and do it for you. I want to show you a little bit of the footage that we took while I was there. So here you are, you're dealing with getting your body back together and all that. Do you worry about money? Is money an issue while you're doing this? Or you're not even thinking about that at this point in time, is that correct?
I just want to get better.
You just want to get better. Well, you're doing it, aren't you? You both look like you're doing pretty strong. And, you're getting there. Thank you both for everything that you do. To say that it is an extraordinary place, to say that the men and the women that are there, their injuries, which are very severe injuries, are being taken care of in an extraordinary way is putting it mildly. The thing that I found most fascinating is every single soldier that I spoke to, want to know what their dream was? Their dream was to go back and serve again. They wanted to go back to what's called the theater, where they actually were injured. Thank you for all that you did.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, do you want to go back?
Yeah, I want to go back to active duty.
Yeah. What is with all you got? Do you want him to go back?
Active duty, yeah, not to Afghanistan, no.
No, but
I'll break his other leg if he tries to go back to Afghanistan. He's not going back.
So when you say active duty, you just want to go back into but you'd like to go back to Afghanistan.
I'd like to finish the tour.
But all I want to say is this, to every single man and woman out there that is serving in the military, from the Suze Orman Show, we salute you. Up next, email.
I wonder how that must have happened in the wash. See it?
Lou, for some reason, wants to show America that he has a hole in his T-shirt. Okay, I personally think. Welcome back to Lou's segment of the Suze Orman Show. I'm no longer calling it the email segment. Yeah, it's Lou's segment. We're going to have to change that graphic behind me. Rather than Dear Suze, it should say Dear Lou. What do you think about that?
Well, nobody asks me a question.
Well, I'll tell you why. The few shows in the past when you haven't appeared, for whatever reason, either we've run long or you had some meeting to go to.
Sure.
Oh, my little tweeters. Oh, they have been upset. Where's Lou? Where's Lou? God forbid Lou should be here.
They're looking for gossip. They really don't. They're looking for, like, did he get fired? Did he hurt his back?
Yeah, it's like, what's with Lou?
Could be
but
something
anyway,
like that.
He's here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I see.
Yeah,
I'm just
whatever.
going, you look, do you always wear your T-shirt out or is it usually tucked in?
No, it's usually out. Look, you can see the holes in it. This one has holes.
That one, are you telling me, Lou, that you are wearing
I just noticed it just now when I looked down.
the same T-shirt, but it now has a hole in it?
Yeah, I wonder how that
must have happened in the wash. See it?
Can y'all get that? He wants, Lou, for some reason, wants to show America that he has a hole in his T-shirt. Okay, I personally think.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
All right, fine.
I didn't say anything.
I don't hope nobody can read your lips.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, go on.
From Beverly, 28, in Astoria, New York. Hello, Susie. I let an ex become a second user for my 2 credit cards. They ended up with an enormous balance. Both amount to almost $10,000. Now that we have separated, he refuses to pay for the balances. I would like to know what options I have besides paying off a debt that is not mine.
What do you mean the debt is not yours? Beverly, the debt is yours because the credit cards are in your name. Doesn't matter who charged on them. You gave an ex permission to do so. So that's kind of like your financial scar that you will never, ever forget in the future, that if this happens to you again, do not ever give anybody your credit cards to charge on. If somebody wants to charge, let them go out and get their own credit card. But you are not to be somebody's financial savior. So here is what you need to do. You're going to need to pay it off. There isn't anything else that you can do, I'm so sorry to say. Something, huh?
Truth.
What did you just say?
That's the truth.
That is the...
It's her debt.
It's her debt.
That's
it's on
right.
her card.
It's on her card.
You know, it's funny. If it had been on his card, oh, please. But it's like, it is what it is. Right. Are you as aggravated as I am about all these fees on credit cards?
Absolutely. We were just having a discussion earlier about people stop using their credit cards, use debit cards or use
do
cash.
Something. I think everybody should do cash. So again, I started out tonight with the suggestion, everybody, let's go back to cash. Let's go back to the good old days where you have money in your pocket, you pay for something. Who cares about these credit card companies? Do not let them do you in. Do you hear me? You can take your power back by taking cash back. Got it? So until next Saturday night, there is only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first. Do you hear me, banks? Do you hear me, banks? People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.
I have the Hospital Commander's coin from Walter Reed with our torch, our emblem on it to give to you. So I would like you to present you with that.
Thank you so much. An honor, you know. I don't collect many things in life. Obviously, it's known that I'm clear of everything. The only thing I collect are the coins from all the military bases and or wherever I've been, and it's what I treasure. And I have about 50 of them.
Outstanding.
You know, and I have to tell you, it's the most extraordinary thing, everybody, that I have, and it's something.